Hi guys, okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a cream of mushroom soup. This is an absolutely delicious recipe. I'm sure you will have maybe tried to make mushroom soup before, as have I, but this is just the best recipe I've ever tried. Okay, so the ingredients you're going to need today are already in the pan here. I have about 50 grams of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a roughly chopped white onion, around 300 grams of a selection of chopped mushrooms, roughly chopped again. So here I have shiitake, button mushrooms, one or two more, any type will do. Then 100 grams of finely chopped button mushrooms, a clove of garlic, a tablespoon of white wine, teaspoon of mustard, teaspoon of thyme, a tablespoon of plain flour, and 500 millilitres of vegetable stock. I've also got some cream here. If you wanted to make this a vegan recipe, you can use a plant-based cream. This is about sort of 5 or 6 tablespoons. Okay, so I've heated the pan up here and the butter and the oil is melting away. So we first of all add the chopped onion. And stir. Keep this on a reasonably high heat. We want to keep this going until the onions are sort of cooked through and they go transparent but not browned. We don't want the onions to be browned. I don't add the garlic straight away because garlic characteristically can burn quite easily, so I'll add that a little bit later when the onions are more or less cooked through. This is a fabulous winter warmer, by the way. Really enjoyable to sit round a fire with a bowl or a mug of this soup. Absolutely delicious. So as you can see, the onions are starting to cook through now. They're just roughly chopped, as everything is going to go in the blender apart from the finely chopped mushrooms, which we're going to keep separate, cook separately, and then add to the soup afterwards for some texture. And obviously the cream doesn't need to go into the blender, but everything else does. So the onions and the garlic and the mushrooms really only need to be roughly chopped. Okay, so now I'm going to add the garlic. Again, that's just roughly chopped. And then we add the roughly chopped mushrooms. Whoops. The mushrooms are starting to cook down a little now. So we will add the white wine, the thyme, and the mustard. Keep stirring whilst this is cooking, just to distribute all the flavours really well. Okay, so now we add a tablespoon of flour. This is just to get the soup to the right sort of consistency of thickness. So we mix this in now. It absorbs the oil in the pan. And then we add the stock. So here we come with the stock. this stage we'll add some salt and pepper to taste. I won't put too much in at the moment because I'd rather taste it when everything's been blended just for a final season, but it's going to need a little at least. So now guys, if we make sure this comes up to heat and then we cover, I still have it on a fairly high heat, but once it's covered and it's brought up to heat, we need to turn it down again, and then we leave it for about 10 minutes once we've turned it down and covered it to simmer through. So it's just coming back up to heat now, so I'll turn it down and we'll leave it for about 10 minutes to simmer away. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay guys, this has been simmering away now for a good 10 minutes. When I take the lid off, you can see here now that everything is completely cooked through. The onions are transparent and soft, the mushrooms are soft. So the next stage is we try to get everything into the liquidizer without spilling it. So the best way normally is to start with a ladle. And then as there becomes less in the pan, we then try to just tip it in. I'm hoping that I'll be safe to just tip it in now. There we go. How about that for success? Then, this pan that you've cooked all the mushrooms and the onions in, we might just add a little bit more olive oil, and then we add the very finely chopped mushrooms, because what we need to do whilst we're blending the mix of the soup is to cook these through. These added to the soup afterwards just give it such a lovely texture. Turn the heat back up. And just let those simmer away until cooked through. Okay, and now we blend the rest of the soup mixture. Start off with it on a fairly low speed, and then you can increase the speed. Just going to test this now to make sure it's blended sufficiently. You do want just a completely smooth blend. That looks absolutely perfect. So now what we're going to do is transfer this into a saucepan, like so. Okay, and these finely chopped mushrooms are now cooked through. So we're going to return the saucepan to the heat, add the finely chopped mushrooms, and then I'm just going to have a taste for seasoning. It actually doesn't need any more at all, that's just perfect as it is. So make sure it's just brought back up to heat so the soup is nice and hot. And you can either add the cream at this stage, so it's blended throughout the whole of the soup, or you can use it as a bit of a garnish. So I'll show you how I mean. So we put the soup into the soup bowl now. Okay. And then we add a spoonful of cream and stir it round into the soup. Like so. Then we can garnish with a sprig of parsley. And there we have it, cream of mushroom soup. If you've enjoyed watching the video, guys, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. There'll be plenty more recipes up there for you to have a look at. Thank you and goodbye for now.